Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, I the Dragon, King Dio, and the upcoming Lauren Frey. I'm sure the list is getting so long now. I'm just like, wait a minute, are there more things I need to be talking about? But anyway, recently I've been delving into the Attack on Titan fan community a little bit, mostly just to find cool fan art and just to see like some of the weird stuff some of the weird fan theories that people came up with over the years. And in doing so, I kind of realized just how little I interacted with the Attack on Titan fan base throughout its entire run. I had like one girlfriend who was really into it, that we talked about it a lot and stuff like that. This was around like the time Uprising just came out, I think. Maybe it was the Battle of Shinganshin. I think they got to the basement. I don't remember. But the point is, like, I never really interacted with Attack on Titan fans before I finished the series on my Kindle just the past couple of weeks or so. So over the past couple of weeks, I've been like browsing 4chan threads. I've been Googling Reddit shit. I've been watching YouTube reaction videos. And my analysis of the fan reaction to Attack on Titan, specifically the ending, is extremely negative. Not to the material itself, because I myself love Attack on Titan. I think it's great from start to finish. Love the ending. Really love the series. There are so many other manga that I've read already that I would say like craps out long before. That crapped out way worse than that, like Beastars. That's probably my go-to example for the moment. Fucking Beastars. But the fans seem to believe that Attack on Titan had the worst ending ever, and I keep seeing people who don't understand the plot, who don't understand the characters, and don't understand the motivations, like question why some decisions were made, why they behaved a certain way, why it ended the way it did. Like they're just smooth-brained retards. And with time, I think, especially after the ending of the anime, I think more and more people, normies, are going to like start acknowledging that these people are ridiculous and will just continue consuming and enjoying the product regardless. But as it stands right now, the consensus on message boards is that like Isayama is a hack. He's a complete hack who doesn't know what he's doing, and that Attack on Titan wasn't all that good of a franchise to begin with. Now, here's the thing. If it wasn't that good to begin with, why were you invested, right? That's my question. And the answer to that, I think, it's the Harry Potter thing, right? Like, you have a bunch of people who did not appreciate the media, who did not appreciate the piece of fiction, right? The work of art, the series, that sort of latched onto it because it was so popular and iconic, so pop culturally significant, right? So you have a lot of people coming in for that reason. And then these people start coming up with these ridiculous fan theories, these ridiculous ideas, these ridiculous concepts. Like, the one I always keep seeing is like Eren was supposed to be with Historia, and then they just like changed their minds about it. But no, there's no indication reading the original series, reading the actual series, that Eren was ever going to get with Historia. And the main reason I was bringing it up in streams and like review stuff and stuff like that was that like I thought like that relationship would develop later, like post time skip, but as it so happens, it really didn't. It was never really a thing, and yet so many people adamantly will insist it was. Right? You have people trying to say that Armin is a worthless character who doesn't contribute anything to the story, which isn't true, for the record. I greatly value Armin. I love the character. I love all three of the main protagonists, by the way. Eren, Mikasa, Armin, they're all great in their own ways, but like this weird hate boner for Armin is just unprecedented for me. Like, again, it really reminds me of Harry Potter, which, for those of you who weren't aware, who weren't following, who weren't part of the Harry Potter fandom back in the day, the 7th book had the exact same kind of reception. People who didn't like the fact they didn't return to Hogwarts, who didn't like some of the plot twists, who didn't like the fact, the camping, the relationship developments, and so many people so many people tried to say the series was shit, it dropped the ball, it had no idea what it wanted to be, it completely lost sight of what the series was. But here we are, 15 years later, 14 years, I think, since publication at this point. And I still greatly value and love the entire Harry Potter series, including Book 7. Actually, I value Book 7, I think, more than most books in the series. I think it does have a pretty satisfying ending. And I think most people who weren't wrapped up in these weird fan-based conspiracy theories feel the same way. And that's kind of my point. Like, this kind of goes back into the Pretendo thing, right? Like, the same reason I began to hate Pretendos was because of how these people who ostensibly are gamers, who revolve their entire life cycle, their entire lives around covering video game material online, have this blatant disregard and disrespect for Nintendo, the industry-defining giant who established some of basically all of the best games ever made, right? And interacting with people on NeoGAF, on YouTube, on Insider 2, like 10 years ago, was one of the most embarrassing, was one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen in my life. Like, people trying to convince you that Dark Souls was better than Zelda, that Skyrim would stomp out the Zelda franchise, that Nintendo would go out of business like after the Wii, that Nintendo was doomed, and look where we are now. Like, look at where we are now. These people absolutely still exist, but because Nintendo is doing so well, they don't have ammunition for their nonsense, right? And that's kind of how I feel about Attack on Titan, is because since it's over, since there's not going to be any more material after the anime finishes airing, there's not really going to be anything more to talk about. And so for that first couple of years or so, I think these people are going to dominate the Attack on Titan fan base, like the discussion of Attack on Titan online. They're going to try and say it's the worst thing ever, that it sucks, that it could have been great. But then they're going to move on. Eventually, they're going to move on to something else. They're going to get excited over a new property. And as a result of that, the people who actually like Attack on Titan, the people who actually like Nintendo, who actually like Harry Potter, are the ones who are going to be staying, and are the ones who are going to be like expressing their love and appreciation for the series, right? For the books, for the games, for the manga. Like, not the anime, because nobody watches anime. Oof. Nobody of culture watches the anime. I would really like to see what some of the fan theories for Attack on Titan were. I'm aware of a couple at certain points in the series, but post time skip theories seem to have gotten really, really ridiculous and convoluted. Like, the time loop thing keeps coming up. Like, some people still think it's a real thing that's going to be like confirmed in the anime. The anime is just a different time loop. like it's so fucking stupid. It's not going to happen. But well, the ending is perfectly fine in and of itself. Embarrassing. Okay, so I am excited for the future of Attack on Titan. Like, not because it's going to get any new material, but because it's going to be one of those things that I am going to be talking about for years to come. And I think it will influence me in ways that many of you could not even possibly imagine. So I am very, very excited for Attack on Titan. Very, very excited for the conclusion of the anime, so I can talk about more of this, do some more deep dives into Attack on Titan in general. And until then, I will see you all next time. Thank you.